All right. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me good. Let me know if you can hear me good. I am so sorry for the technical difficulty. I guess I got to work out a few kinks and whatnot. So I'm doing it from my phone. Kimberly, I'm glad you're back. Better. That's what I want to hear. So I'll work on the technical stuff. Much better? That's good. I'll work on the technical stuff another day. Because today, listen, man. It's been a rough one. It's been a rough week. I had this topic in mind for a long time. A couple of people I've been speaking to, they kind of going through some of the things that everybody goes through who are living a certain dynamic in a family. You know what I'm saying? That dynamic is the blended family. You know what I'm saying? People who come with quote unquote baggage. Maybe that's a strong word, but they come with a package. It's a package deal. You taking me, you taking us. That kind of idea. Like, yo, I'm coming with mine, and you coming with yours, and we're going to make this thing happen. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs a family. Everybody need a daddy. Everybody need a mama. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all for the blend. I'm all for family. It don't have to be blended or nothing, but tonight, this hour, maybe this hour and change, we talking about the blended family, man. So y'all hurry up and get here. It's going down. Tough situation. You got to be built a certain way. You have to be, there got to be a certain confidence, and there got to be a certain understanding, and there got to be a certain want for things to work. You know, you can't have that I'm gonna throw my hands up in the air mentality. You can't have the Sue, what's good? You can't have the mentality like I'm gonna defend mine and it's us against the world. It can't be like that. That's not gonna work. And I think a lot of us actually feel like that. We feel like, yo, I'm all for the family and I'm not picking sides and everything gonna be fair, but I don't think it's ever really that way all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's ever really that way all the time. Yo, look at some of these people who's showing up. Strangers is showing up. But I appreciate y'all though. Sue, what's good, man? I ain't speak to the homie in so long. What's good? Been there, done that. Caught a case over bitter baby mother and had to say whatever that emoji is. Cause I don't really know emojis cause I'm old. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Kimberly said, been there, done that, caught a case over a bitter baby mama and had to say whatever she had to say. I could dig it. You know what I'm saying? But to me, oh, it's by? Oh, Malik, what's good? Oh, caught a case over a bitter baby mama and had to say bye-bye because it's two girls waving by. So I guess that's bye-bye. My bad. I'm not in the loop. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the clarification. Sherry with an I, what's good? Danielle, I knew you would show up because you told me, and I know you stick to your word, man. I know you stick to your word. Look at the EMT who showed up tonight to show me love. That's what's up. Let me get into it. Let me just update y'all on what's going on today. What's going on today is the big bad wolf. I mean, big bad blended family. Let me keep it real with y'all. I'm in a situation where my family's blended. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of other people in situations where their family's blended. Now, a lot of people, they're with somebody who got kids, but that they themselves don't have no kids. So it's a little different in that way. The good doctor was shaking, man. She said, hurry up, I'm working. Shut up. Shut up. Drive the what you call it, the ambulance, and keep your eyes on the road. So it's difficult when, you know, the person that you with got kids and you don't got no kids. That alone is difficult. You know what I'm saying? But when you got kids and they got kids and y'all coming together and y'all want things to work, you know what I'm saying? There's love and, you know, we're going to make this work. It's really, really hard. There's so many things that that I don't know if it pulls people apart. I don't know if it keeps them from really gelling the way that they should. But you know, who is the blended family more difficult for? You know what I mean? Is it more difficult for the kids? Is it more difficult for the parents? Like, I know in my situation, and you know I don't really want to get too deep into my personal shit. What you said, Shay? That's me. And then she put the hand up. No kids, but he has 2 and custody of 1, and nope, I'm at the other job. Oh, okay. So what I'm saying is, like, I don't really want to get into my shit, but I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to keep it honest with a glass of lemon water. And I'm bottling this shit up too. Can't tell you where I get the water from. Right now, I can't tell you where I get the lemon from. I'm working a deal out right now. But the moment I get the okay, the moment I get the shit in writing, I'll let you know where to get this joint at. Back to the beard oil though. And I'm not promoting, but this right here, get you some of this, man. It got my beard soft. You know what I'm saying? It's growing like wildfire. Anyhow, though, like for me personally, our issue mainly is the disciplining of the kids. You know what I'm saying? I got 2. She got 2. I got a big girl and a boy. She got a girl. You know what I'm saying? I don't use the word step kids. I don't even say stepdaughter when I'm talking about it. That's my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And I treat her, in my eyes, I treat her the same way I treat the other 2. I don't even distinguish. Like when I'm carrying on, I say y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about everybody in front of me. Her mother feels different. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and the mother may feel like, yo, she does the same thing. She treats them all the same, but we go at it over these kids. And I want to say a lot of the argument over what we do, or just a lot of our arguments in general, be over the kids. It be over disciplining them or their personality or their behavior. You know what I'm saying? Shay said, that's me. Oh, I read that already. My bad. But I'll read it again. That's me. No kids, but he got 2 and had got custody of. My bad. I got a call and, you know what I'm saying? I should have turned the stuff off, but I'm new at this. Bear with me. Danielle said, I think we never asked the kids how they feel. And I think you're right. I'm a thumbs up that. Auntie Annie, please forgive me in advance for my language. When I get comfortable or comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? I get a little loose, but please don't take it to heart. Hey, Jennifer, what's going on? How are you? I don't think we ever ask the kids how they feel. I think sometimes we assume, and especially if one of those kids are your birth kids, you know what I'm saying? I think there's another level of wanting to protect them or defend them. And I've been told from everybody that I defend my son in particular. Me and my son got a certain bond. You know what I'm saying? And but again, I know how he could be. I don't cut him no slack. I know how he could be. He could be this way, he could be that way. He can be a little mean, he can be a little selfish. He got a sense of entitlement. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. And personally, I don't think that I always give in to that all the time. Other people feel different. Other people feel like, yo, you never see what he do wrong. You always backing him. And, you know, it is what it is. And again, she has a daughter. You know what I'm saying? And she probably feel a certain way too. I look at the both kids and I'm like, yo, the 2 of them have certain ways about them that I don't like. That's it. Including the ones that come from me. Come from these loins. I feel a certain way about them. I don't be liking them all the time. And parents, it's okay not to like your kids all the time. How can you like somebody all the time? I don't even like me all the time. So how could you like your kids all the time? Danielle said, hey, Berlin, what's good? I hope you stick around. I know the babies are probably sleeping, so stick around for a little bit. Danielle said, word, my daughter and I went to my man and his daughter for Christmas and we all happy and the girls weren't even feeling it at all. And that's what I mean. And again, our kid, the youngest ones are 11 and 10. My son turned 11 this month. 11 and 11 basically. And they go at it. You know what I'm saying? They share a room and they go to the same school and they take the same bus and they come home together and there's one TV in the room. There's one PlayStation. The beds are right next to each other and they go at it. And they hate each other is how it feels. But I remember growing up with my sister in Brooklyn. My sister and myself are 1 year apart. You know what I'm saying? And we went at it too. We went at it until we was big teenagers. But that doesn't mean that if somebody said something out of their mouth crazy to her, that I wasn't in their face and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? My sister done fought people for me or over me that I didn't even know about. Or for the strength of, that's my brother, keeping name out his mouth, and vice versa. But when we in the room, again, we shared a room together. We went to the same school for a little bit. I hated her guts, but I was the only one allowed to hate her guts. You know what I'm saying? Do you break up if your kids don't get along? That's a big question. Let me like that. I got a thumbs up that. Because that's one of the questions. Because let me tell you, again, my relationship is strong. You know what I'm saying? My lady, she's awesome. You know what I mean? And I love her. You know what I'm saying? And I know she loved me too because I'm bad. You know what I mean? I look good and I'm funny and I'm all these other things that everybody loves. You know, that's what I've been told. You know what I mean? Anyway, though. But my issue is I know she feels a way about the kids as well. These kids are going to fight. My thing is, I don't care about the kids being mean as much as I care about the kids being or doing the right thing. That's my thing. Being mean is a part of life. Being mean, you're going to fight. You're going to say things that hurt. And you're going to be mean. But that's all in the realm of being siblings and growing up in the same room and being on top of each other and doing everything together. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Like the big thing around my house is the word fair. Nothing is ever fair to the kids. She feels like nothing is fair. He feels like nothing is fair. The big one, she don't really feel that way as much because she's big. And she's like, whatever. I'm 17 and I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? But the little ones go at it. And it gets on my nerves as to why I yell. But me and my lady go at it because we don't see eye to eye. I feel like sometimes she be going at the son a little bit differently than the daughter. I feel like she uses, oh, I know how he is against him. And I mean, we all do it. That's experience. That's what we do. I've done it. You know, I've said, yo, son, I know how you are. So I know you did this. So I know you didn't do that. So we all do that, especially as parents. But as parents, I feel like, and this is me personally, you got to give them that room to grow. We can't say, yo, we know how you are. And so now you in a box. So now no matter what happens, we're going to judge you off of what we know about you instead of us trying to raise you up a certain way and giving you an opportunity to show that change or show that growth. Now, don't get me wrong. That's just logical thinking right now. Because when I be hot and when I'm mad, I don't be thinking logically. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you're mean and you loud and I don't want to hear what you got to say, and vice versa. And like, again, I feel like me and my lady go at it. So after the kids fight and now they back friends and they laughing and wrestling and playing PlayStation and on what you call it? What's the shit that the kids be on? Musically. Like y'all saw me do this because I had to get. But when they on Musically chilling, me and my lady in separate rooms. One nigga sleeping on the couch, one nigga sleeping on the bed. You know what I'm saying? Niggas like, yo, your food's ready. That kind of shit. Like we not even friends. Exactly, Kim. Like now we arguing and the kids is all right. Like the kids will and that's my thing. The kids will always be all right. And a lot of times You see, Vanessa said it's normal for kids to have conflict. It's very normal. I just feel like it's annoying. And I posed the question to my lady. I'm like, yo, if they was both born to us, would we even be talking about this? And she was honest. And she was like, yo, I don't know. And that's an honest question. Because in my eyes, I feel like whether they came from me, both of them came from me, or both of them didn't, if I'm raising them, I'm talking to them however I want, because I mean well, and they both gonna get the same lesson. But again, part of that is she feels like, and a lot of people feel like, I spoil him. You know, not necessarily in things that he gets, but things that he gets to do. You know, and again, let me be honest, that's my man. Sue me, that's my man. But I know that I go harder on him than anybody else, because I know the things that he gets got to be earned. And if you earning it, it's the same way you could lose it. So if you acting up and you acting like, oh, I'm the king and I'm entitled, I'm going to make sure you don't get nothing. You lucky if you get food around here. Hope the ACS ain't watching this. I do feed them. If you're anybody working for ACS, Children's Services, whatever, I feed them. They get fed, okay? They get fed. But again, I think me and my lady, I mean, speaking for myself, I feel like, yo, we've been on the verge of breaking up. We've been on the verge of sending somebody away. We've been on the verge of going back to our lives before our life together. It's that bad sometimes. And I know other people be going through it. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't be the only ones going through it. You know what I mean? Can't say it. So Shay said communication is everything with the parents and should be with the children as well. The family as a whole should have these open discussions. And it's funny because we've had them. But just as a parent, and I've been a parent for 17 years plus, it doesn't mean that I have all the answers, but there's a certain experience that I have. And that experience is like, yo, kids are going to fight. Kids are going to fight. Just like your kid is going to fight with you as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Kids are going to fight. I need my charger for my phone dying on me. Kids are going to fight, and that's just what it's going to be. It doesn't make it all right, but to me, it's not the end of a relationship all the time. But again, I've actually felt like, yo, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work. We have different opinions about what we're doing with these kids. You know what I'm saying? So I need some answers on the blended family, man. Like, how do we take care of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you move forward if the same situation keeps happening? That's the first thing. The second thing is, after a while, like when the discussions are like, yo, me, for example, she'll say like, oh, I know how he is and he's this way and you know, this, and he's just that way and I don't like that way. And after a while, I'm like, yo, I agree with you. Cool out now. I agree. Cool out now. But then it goes from cool out now to, you know what? I think you're going too hard. Then it turns into, yo, it sounds like you don't like my son. And then when you start to say my son or my daughter, you automatically make it how Trump making it. Them against us. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want it that way. And again, it's not that I'm always right. I don't have the answers all the time. I'm just talking from experience. I know that I have felt like, yo, I can't do this anymore. And I've also felt like, yo, you're not even trying, or you're getting it wrong. You're not trying hard enough, or you're looking at it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. It's just tough. Like, here go a question, and I've actually said this out loud, and I've heard other people say this as well. Jealousy. Like, sometimes, do you think that your significant other is jealous of the partner's kids? Like, for example, let me put me in it. And this ain't my situation. I'm just putting me in it. Let's say that my lady is jealous of my birth children. How do you fix that? How do you get past that? You have a strong feeling like, yo, she jealous of the kids. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do when she compares herself to the children? Oh, you don't give me that kind of time. You don't give me that kind of attention. You're always doing this with them or him or her. You're always laughing with them. You spend more time. Like, how do you fix that? Is the only way to fix that spending time? Because somebody always asking for it and you end up doing it. Is it the same? Does it weigh the same if she always asking for it and then you finally do it like, let me go spend this fucking time? Is it the same? You know what I'm saying? Somebody talk to me. Kimberly said, in a situation like that, never discuss it till everyone calms down. Other than that, y'all gonna be airing off facts. The youngest always gets away with more. Yeah, I think the youngest does get away with more. In this situation, our oldest is 17. The two younger ones are literally a month apart. Literally. The youngest girl is born in January and the boy is born in February. So they're both the youngest. So, but the thing is, my man Luke, what's shaking, baby? The thing is, with the youngest thing, I don't think it's a youngest thing. I think it's a who. She may feel like he gets away with more. And I feel like the youngest girl get away with murder. I actually said, was it yesterday? Shit, it could have been yesterday, right? Yeah. Yesterday. I was like, yo, I feel like the youngest one get away with murder. And she feel like, yo, the youngest boy don't get punishment enough or get spoken to enough. Or even if he gets punishment enough, he still gets the other things, to play the PlayStation, to go play basketball. He still gets, nothing was taken away from him. So he got in trouble, but there was no punishment, if that makes sense. And I think that's how she feel. You know what I mean? There was no punishment, but he got in trouble, which ain't good enough. There got to be some punishment or there ain't no lesson behind it. And I could dig it. But at the same time, I feel like the youngest girl, because they go at it differently, she's passive aggressive. The boy is aggressive. He's loud and he's obnoxious and shit like that. She's not that way. She's passive aggressive. She'll say the same things to a degree in a softer voice. You know what I'm saying? We won't hear her argue all the time. So there's that sort of conflict. Somebody talk to me. Shay said these discussions should express concerns, questions, feelings, and facts without the intent to respond right away. That's so difficult though, but that's a good point. Let me repeat it for everybody. What's up, Keisha? These discussions should express concerns, questions, feelings, and facts without the intent to respond right away. Let everything marinate for a day or so that you're more logical, factual, and understanding toward every issue. Listen, that is probably the best advice for a situation like this, but I think it's unrealistic. The part that's unrealistic to me is deal with it the next day. I don't think that's realistic. I think you can deal with it the next day, but we going through something right now. You know what I'm saying? And when it's something like your children or something on a level like that, you want to deal with it now. You either going to prove me I'm wrong, or I'm going to make sure you know I'm right. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to prove my point when it comes to shit like this. And I think that's the tough part, because I've kept my mouth closed a lot of the time to keep the peace, to make sure I don't say nothing. Even yesterday, again, let me bring y'all in. Let me bring you in. I'm bringing you in. I'm bringing you in again. What happened was we went at it, and I even said, yo, we should, I'm paraphrasing. We should chill now before we hurt each other's feelings. And I said that yesterday. And I don't even know if she said something to hurt me, but it was she had something back to say. And then that was it. Niggas went at it. You see this joint here? This shit? This vein right here? That shit was like this. That shit was like this across my shit. Out there, ready, doing all the blood pumping, going. So Shay, I think what you said make a lot of sense. I just think it's unrealistic at the moment because we in an argument. You know what I'm saying? To just be like, you know what? Look, baby, look, we just gonna talk about this tomorrow. Niggas don't even really want to get back into that shit tomorrow because it takes so much. It's such a constant and it's such a energy sapping situation, and it's so intense and you're so passionate. One of those four things is gonna make you talk about it right now. Either the passion or just the energy. Your adrenaline is pumping. You want to get that shit done this minute. And what happens is there's so much fireworks and so much damage. You know what I'm saying? It should be tough. Let me like that though. Kizzy. When blending families, it's important to allow everyone to have a voice, even the kids. That's a good point. The adults have to come to a mutual agreement on how to deal with issues, and as long as everyone knows that the well-being of the family is first, a little harshness should not be taken the wrong way by one parent or another. That makes sense too, but it's just so difficult. Kizzy, are you going through a situation like that? Not to be all up in your business, but it sounds like you're speaking from experience. Because even though I appreciate everybody's opinions, you know what I'm saying? If you're not really living it like that, then you're going to have to give me something that I could say, well, you know, it sounds like she living it or he living it, and I'm going to take that advice, even though it's not really advice to me. Like, we're going to fight about it, and we're probably going to have sex that night. Like, we're not going to split up over this shit. The kids got to go before we go. Fuck all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? The kids going to get big one day and leave us. So it's really whatever. I just want to be understood. Like, yo, I don't prefer one kid or the other. I have 3 of them, and I don't prefer one over the other. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's unfair to box the kids and say, well, this is how this kid is, or this is how these kids are, and we're going to prejudge them. So regardless of the situation, we know that she's a liar, or he's a liar, or she's a drama queen, or he's too extra. Like, I don't want to do that to them. You know what I'm saying? I want to take each situation for that situation. I don't want to apply their history to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to use my experience and our experience with them as a floor plan. You see what I'm saying? But I don't want to box them in. So when the both of them come tell on each other, I'm like, yo, you're a liar and you're not, so you're wrong and they're not. I don't want to do that kind of shit. Danielle said, the man is the head of the household. Let me, how many likes I could put on that? The man is the head of the household. Let me read that again, y'all. The man is the head of the household. I think that was in like John 3:16. I don't know the Bible, but that gotta be in there somewhere is what I'm saying. The man is the head of the household, and your woman needs to understand that. She needs to trust you and be more God, let me hold on. D, you talking that talk tonight, yo. You talking that talk. The man is the head of the household, and your woman needs to understand that. She needs to trust you and be more submissive. Whew. I got a t-shirt for you. Listen, I'm going to hit you in the inbox. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I got something for you. I think it's hard for a woman that used to being mom and dad to relinquish control. And I think the same thing with a man. I think because for a long time, although I've been in relationships and just people in general, she's been in relationships before me, and just other people who've been having, had a kid or 2 or 3 or 8 and been single, they're used to playing both roles, whether it be provider, protector, nurturer, whatever. Cook, clean, homework, disciplinarian, everything. It is hard to relinquish a certain control. You know what I mean? I remember one of the things that she first said to me, she was telling her mother, like, it's so annoying he won't let me cook for him, or he won't let me do something light, which I thought was light, or iron his clothes. She's like, oh, he won't let me iron his clothes. It's so annoying. I didn't fucking think you shouldn't iron it. I'm just used to doing the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I could dig that, but I think it's both ways. But I love your point though. Jealous parenting is not good. Luke, I agree. And I think a lot of parents be jealous of their husband or their wife's kids. I think it's like that. And I think a lot of people won't admit it because it looked bad. But that's just the facts though. You know what I'm saying? Shay said to Danielle, I agree 100%, especially if you're engaged, long relationship, and definitely married. Exactly. I think the man has to drive the ship, right? I believe that in my heart. It's not a chauvinist thing or nothing like that. I believe that, but you need a co-captain. You know what I'm saying? A man got to be put in check sometimes, like, yo, that's not a good idea. Not check like, yo, what the fuck? Not like that, because I don't go for that bullshit. But got to be checked like, yo, baby, I don't think that's the right move. Or, yo, let me just tell you my opinion. Because, again, just because you're a man don't mean you're always right. I mean, I know we got two heads, you know what I'm saying? But that's as far as that goes. You know what I'm saying? So really, I feel like a man gotta, what's the word I'm looking for? Got to, whatever it's called. I'm not very articulate, but the man gotta say, yo, boo, what you feel like? You know, and the woman gotta be like, yo, I think that's a good move or a bad move, or I support you or I don't. My woman has even said to me, My woman has even said to me, yo, baby, it's whatever. I support you. And I could dig that. But a lot of times I'm like, yeah, I need a little more than that, though. Tell me I'm doing the wrong thing. Tell me I'm doing the right thing. But I could dig the support. But let me just move forward. Vanessa said she just wants your time and doesn't need to compare herself to the kid. True. Maybe she don't. And again, family, it ain't really about me as much as it's about people. You know what I'm saying? So let me just bring y'all back. You know what I'm saying? Although I am living in that sort of relationship, and I do go through these issues as well. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and it's tough. And I know a lot of other people going through the same issues. You know what I'm saying? Alicia said, nope, not the same. If you have to beg for time when you get it, you don't want it anymore. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I think, like, if a woman, even if she don't say it all the time, but if you can feel it, if you can feel like, yo, she wants your time and whatnot, by the time you get it, it's like, don't you got to hang out with Craig and them? You know, I ain't got no time. See you when I see you. Like, I don't want my woman to be like, nah, I'm cool. Like, I don't want that shit. Because then I'm like, there's a bigger issue. But again, I don't feel like it's like that. And that's just on my personal level. I may spend certain time with a certain child, but to even call that quality time is not fair. You know, and again, I'm just speaking from a dad who's been in my children's lives the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Quality time and time is two different things. You could be sitting next to somebody on a couch 24 hours a day. That's not quality time at all. But y'all could be, you know, laughing and chopping it up for an hour, you know, wherever, and that be the best time of your life. So it's a difference between time and some quality time. You know what I'm saying? So, but I agree. That's a big part too. But I don't see where a parent should be jealous of a child ever. I agree. I don't think it's necessarily jealous of a child in particular, as it more is jealous of what the child gets. And again, I'm thinking it's more of an emotional thing, like time, certain, just the emotional stuff, time, you know, affection, even. You know, I've heard this plenty of times. I've actually heard it from guys. You know what I'm saying? I've heard men say, yo, you know, she be around her daughter or she be around her son more than anybody. And she, you know, she be kissing them up and they show so much love, but they missing that. Like, he don't get that. And I'm not going to call no names because I ain't into them kind of games. Right. But you know what I'm saying?
In some cases it's jealousy, and in some cases it's not.
Right. I think it's jealousy. Yeah. It may be some insecurity, or it just may be longing for something, like wanting or needing something. And it just come across as maybe envy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it could be envy. Right. Y'all peep my shirt?
I think it's envy.
Y'all peep my lit language shirt?
I think
I had some technical difficulty. No talking on the set. I had some technical difficulties with trying to upload it to my YouTube page. But I'm trying, and the moment I get it up and running, I would hope to see everybody still there. I really appreciate y'all for showing up. Luke, my dude, said, I don't have kids, but aren't kids going to be kids? That's how I look at it, bro. I look at it like, yo, and again, you, and I'm assuming you, but I know I've grown up in a situation where my mother had 3 kids in a 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? Me and my sister was a year apart, and we grew up in the same room, and we fought until I was 19. 19. Voter age. You know what I'm saying? A big ass grown person. And we fought until then. So, but again, I say that to say this. Although we fought like cats and dogs, and I don't mean physically, but although well, shit. Maybe physically. Not as grown kids, but younger kids. You know what I'm saying? She did this shit to me. I got a joint somewhere. I forget where, but she did some shit to me. She got a scar on me or two. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say this. Me and her went at it. But the moment somebody said something funny about my sister, I was in their face. And the moment somebody said something funny about me, my sister was in their face. And it's the same thing with these two younger ones. They fight like cats and dogs. Just the other day, for example, they fought. They was fighting. And maybe on a Tuesday or some shit. And on Wednesday, they coming home off the bus. And one of the kids on the bus said something disrespectful. And her brother was up in Duke's face, asking him for the fair one. He even was like, yo, Dad, I'm going to his house. And I had to check him, like, nah, hold on. If you go to his house, he can do anything. Let me come with you. So we both forget him. You know what I'm saying? But that sort of thing is going to build that bond. That fighting is going to build that bond and those memories. Me and my sister got memories because we didn't have a lot of stuff. But we had the arguments and we had the love. You know what I'm saying? We didn't talk that sweet holding hands and let's go to the store together. No, we didn't do that until we was big people. But as kids, we fought all the time. But I'll tell you this. Nobody could say nothing funny about her, not in front of me. And if I heard the shit, I was going to check that person and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? Shay said, children need more time because they're still being molded. I agree. But don't neglect your significant other. I agree with that too. Y'all both should be spending equal time with the kids. I agree. And that's actually come up, Shay. That's actually come up. And I've actually made a conscious effort to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But I made a conscious effort to do that. You know? Because it's only right. You know? Kids deserve a mother and a father. You know? And so, you know, I did my part, or I'm trying to do my part, and she's trying to do her part. You know what I mean? Kim said, boys and girls can't be disciplined the same way. Speak on it, God. It sounds like the way she disciplines her daughter is how she thinks you should discipline her son. Not necessarily, not in this particular case, but I see where you're coming from. I see where Chris gets disciplined in a way where I can't put it on Facebook Live. You know, we would have to talk about it in person. You know, I don't want nobody coming after me and ringing my doorbell. And you know, and you know, and everybody gets their discipline. I think it's probably, I don't even want to say it's a kind of discipline in particular. I just think it's probably he gets in trouble, but there's not enough discipline behind it. You know, like he was grounded, but he still got to go to the basketball games and the football games, and he still got a chance to breathe, you know? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm trying to also teach him dedication, which is like a poor excuse, but it's still like I still try to teach him, you know, be there for your team, and you made a commitment and be committed. Because again, black men, and just men in particular, but black men, we got to learn that. If we don't learn commitment early, we go through life being uncommitted. To our women, to our kids, to what up? Come give me a kiss on TV. I'll see you later. Get your ass out of here. Let me know when you get there. Y'all saw that? That's me. Anyway. All right, Remy. Black love. Yeah. Back to the thing, though. So, yeah, I don't think it's necessarily like she wants him to get a spanking or whatever, because again, there's times I'm up in his face and she come in there and save him, to be honest. Because again, he's a boy and he got to be disciplined a certain way. You know what I mean? So just the dynamic prevents the discipline in it, the disciplining to be different. and it prevents what you can say to them to be different. Like, I mean, if you ask the kids probably feel like I'm nicer to Kayana than the others, and vice versa. I'm sure. I don't, you know, and there's some truth in that, because, you know, the dynamic is funny. You know what I mean? And it's just tough. It's just tough. It's just a difficult situation. You know what I mean? Let me show y'all my shirt again, though. At Lit Language TV. Again, when I get my YouTube running and all that, y'all can find me on Twitter too. At Lit_Language TV. You know, and check out my YouTube page. I'm gonna get it up and running. I almost had it. It was a little staticky on my computer. I probably need some more space. But I'm gonna get that up and running. But I appreciate y'all for showing up and coming through. Luke said, blended families for real. That's a lot of personality to deal with for everybody. Facts. It really is. Like, everybody has their own personality, and you have to deal with them as individuals. You can't really. And again, that's the tough part, because you should want to be able to discipline everyone with this blanket of discipline, right? All right, well, you put it over, like you give everybody the same sort of discipline, just like you give them the same sort of reward, but their personalities are different. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just tough. It's just tough, man. Let me get into another question though. Favoritism. Does favoritism get brought up a lot? Favoritism, like one kid will say, oh, he always gets a chance to, or she always gets a chance to, or they're always going and they're always getting a chance to do. And when the parents hear that, do you think the parents start to believe that? Do you feel like the parents are like, yo, yeah, you favor her over him, or you favor her over her? You know, that's another big issue. I think when you ask the kids, most kids will tell you that, whether it's true or not, whether there's truth in it, whether it's true or not, or whether it's just kids manipulating the situation. Because, you know, kids can do that. Kids can manipulate the dynamic of the household. They're very smart. We don't give them enough credit, although they stupid. And you'll hear me all the time call a kid a dummy, because kids is dumb. Dumb in the fact that they think they know more than what they actually know. But I don't think we give them enough credit for knowing some shit. You know what I'm saying? Kids know how to manipulate the dynamic of the household. And I know favoritism is a big, big part of it. You know, kids will always say, oh, it's not fair. That's the biggest thing around my house, is it's not fair. You know, somebody got to speak on that. Kizzy said, experience it and divorced over it partially. That's such a big deal, man. And I mean, if you're okay with that, then that's cool. But if you're not okay with it, I really feel for you, because, again, I've been in that situation. I've actually felt like, yo, this shit is not going to work. This shit is not going to work. I swear to God, yesterday, not around the same time, early yesterday, like 5 or whatever, I was on the verge of like, yo, sitting her down, like, listen, we need to talk. We got to figure some shit out. Because it's almost like, yo, you've tried everything and nothing is working. You know? And it's like, yo, do we sit in this shit being miserable while the kids end up being best friends and we end up hating each other? Like, I don't want that. You know, I may be up in age a little bit, but I'm not an old guy. You know, and she's not an old woman. You know what I'm saying? Why have to live a life where it's like the kids is breaking us apart because we don't know how to discipline them? Because let me tell you something. I don't never have no problem disciplining no kid. I don't have no problem disciplining no kid. The issue in my crib is probably different than a lot of other houses, but I'm sure that we share the same issues when it comes to this sort of situation. Disciplining, for example, is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Kids calling out favoritism. You know, oh, you prefer him, you prefer her, I don't get no time, and it's not fair. But the funny shit is, though, even the oldest kid, even the 17-year-old would say the same thing. You always treat her differently. You always treat him differently. Nigga, you 17. They're 10. In a moment, you're not even going to need me. So, you know, but it's just always that. You know what I mean? Alicia said, this is one of the reasons my relationships are kept at bay. No man living in my house till my girls are out. Because I don't know that I would be good with someone else trying to discipline my children, you see? And that's right. And I think a lot of us, my children in a manner I don't care for or agree with. And I think that's the biggest issue. The my thing, right? The my children. I think a lot of people get into that. Again, just speaking from my own experience, we get into that. Because I feel like, yo, you're going hard on him, but you don't go as hard on her. And they do the same shit. And I find myself going hard on him too. But I go equally as hard on her. I just don't say the same things. I'm a little bit rougher with him. Again, he's a boy. It is what it is. Can't nobody change my mind on that. But I feel like a lot of people feel like, yo, I got to come to defense of my kid. Yo, you going too hard. Like, oh, that was unnecessary. But would it be different? Would it be different if both of the kids or all of the kids shared the same two parents? Would it be different? Would we feel a need to back somebody up or even feel a way at all? Wouldn't it be like, yo, yeah, your father's right, or listen to your dad? You know what I'm saying? The good doctor, my man Dave. If you are going to truly blend the family, I think there needs to be a primary disciplinarian. You're looking at him, big bro. Well, most of the time, I'll be tired. I just fight. Listen, man, I let them fight. Especially the young ones. I let the young ones fight. The only thing I don't tolerate is hitting. I don't tolerate that. And I don't tolerate the mean-spirited words like, oh, that's why the so and so. I don't like that. Like, I don't mind the regular dissing each other because that's growing up. But like, oh, that's why your nose is mad big. Like, I don't like them kind of shit because you'll grow up like, yo, I got a big fucking nose and fuck your shit up. You'll get money and want to chop off your shit. And you have like this tiny little nose and shit and a monkey and a giraffe and shit. Like, I don't want those things, like the things to scar you. I don't want that kind of shit. Oh, that's why, that's why you ain't got no mother. like, I don't want that kind of shit. Oh, that's why your dad ain't. That kind of shit is mean. You know what I'm saying? But let me get back to what you were saying, though. In here cracking myself up and shit. If you're going to be a truly blended family, or if you're going to truly blend the family, I think there needs to be a primary disciplinarian. How children are chastised or punished will always be different. You don't punish to punish, right? You punish to correct and teach. Facts. Children learn different from one another, and sometimes punishment will be different. Even when families aren't blended, there are often debates about discipline. Real talk. I think it has more to do with parenting differences than it does with playing favorites. Anything else is representative of a character flaw. Man, listen, you need to get up here with me, bro. There's a seat for you right here. Well, it's not there now, but it was. You need to get up here with me, man. Really, because again, I think a lot of what it has to do with in my house in particular is the both of us, the parents, were the sole providers, protectors, disciplinarians of our children. And then we got together. You know what I'm saying? And then what happened was, the way I do things, I deem them to be the correct way. You know, and I don't mind taking some pointers here and there, but when it comes to discipline, I feel like I do it the correct way. You know, I don't always hit. I don't always curse, but I'll hit and I'll curse. They get food every night. They got a roof over their head. They don't got no bruises. They get punished and they get disciplined to correct bad behavior for the next time. It's not always like that with her. Because she wants to keep the peace, she'll just separate them. That's not going to be good enough. You can't just separate them, because when they get back together, they're going to go at it again. And eventually they'll use that separation as what they want. Like, yo, let me start an argument so somebody can be separated so I can have the room to myself. Or somebody can be separated so I can do this by myself. You can't do that. You know, because again, kids will manipulate that situation. For real. I'm telling you. Kids will definitely manipulate that whole situation. It's in your nature to defend and protect your kid. It sure is. Different parenting styles have to be respected. Stay united, especially in front of the kids. And we try, but it's hard. Yesterday, it wasn't none of that. It wasn't none of that staying united in front of the kids. It was, yo, come sit by your daddy. And she's like, yo, come stand behind me. And then we just was going at it. And it was like, yo, you know, maybe you should go find a new daddy. Nah, it wasn't like that, but it was rough. It was rough. Yo, it was rough to the point where we didn't talk. We wasn't talking. The first time I spoke to her was today, this afternoon. I usually get a text like, hey, have a good day at work. This nigga did not text me. He was like, nigga, I hope you made it to work, and that's about it. You know what I mean? But I think I think a lot of the time it comes down to the my kid thing. Like, you're going to defend your kid. Like, that's my kid and that's your kid. Like, when the shit hits the fan, that's my kid and that's your kid. And I think a lot of the times it's like that. And I don't think a lot of times we want to admit that. You know what I'm saying? How do we get past that though? You know what I mean? Realistically, because we live in real lives. We live in real lives. We're not living this Cosby Show shit. It's very rare you got a Cliff and a Claire and 5 kids by the same. Plus, I don't even think Sandra and Denise was Cliff babies. I don't even think that. I think Claire had 2 kids prior to Cliff. I know that they was dealing with each other from middle school, but mama was living foul because them kids they don't even look like Rudy and Theo and Vanessa. Look how Rudy, Theo, and Vanessa brown skin. I'm off the topic. Let me get back to what I'm talking about. My cousin Lala was good. A man is the head of the household no matter what. If he doesn't deserve that, he shouldn't be a man. Whew, talk your talk. At the end of the day, y'all talk, and that's when communications comes to play, and her input counts a lot. Yes, it does. A woman is the neck in the relationship, which controls the head. So in all reality, they work together. Listen, I don't know where you getting this from, but that shit sound good. I don't know what book you reading. I hope it's not that Steve Harvey shit, because I'm not fucking with him. But if it's another book, maybe by, what's my name, Harper Hill or Hill Harper, I don't know names. But if it's his book, let me know, man, because that shit sound good. Hey, Katrina, I hope you stuck around. I hope you're still in here. Alicia said, that's normal. As long as they have each other on the streets. That's right. That's right. That's right. And I think so, too. I think it does build bonds. I think it's like, yo, we fight and we're not going to let nobody fight us. I mean, that's so normal, especially in a bigger family. When you have 5, 6, 7 kids, which is a hell of a lot, and they always fighting, you know when they go on the street, it's gang. You know what I'm saying? It's me and my brothers and my sister against y'all. And that's just the way it is. So I think in this situation, they're going to fight and they're going to go through it. And I don't mind it as much because I feel like that's bond building. I only disapprove of it when it's too loud and the game is on. Not going to lie. I only disapprove of it when they're hitting because I don't like it. Not even play fighting because it always turn real. And when they're saying mean-spirited things. Not like you're ugly because I don't mind ugly. I mind the specific shit. Like, you're ugly because. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're ugly because. Or, you know, that's why your clothes is whatever. Or, I don't like that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Keep the shit neutral. Like, oh, shut up, ugly. Oh, that's why you stupid. Like, I don't mind that. But you can't say shit like, you know, that's why you got left back again. You can't say shit like that. That shit is scarring. You can't do that. Can't do that. Kim said, in my situation, I came into the relationship with my son who is an only child. That's a big deal. My man came in with a daughter who is one of 5, but his only child. Ooh. The kids were not trying to vibe together at all. I can imagine. They were both used to having all the attention all the time, like the 2 young ones, exactly. When we would try to make them interact with each other, they would fight over the dumbest shit, and it even got to the point where they would do things to get me and my man to get into it. Yo, I think that's what's going on around here sometimes, yo. For real. I don't know if they do it purposely, but they do it with disregard for their parents. I mean, even last night, I walked into their room at like 11 and shook their asses up like, yo, y'all the reason me and my lady beefing. It's hump day. And I'm not humping. And y'all the reason. Meanwhile, y'all in here chilling, sweet dreaming. Night light on and the music playing and shit. And I'm in there tight. Watching Seinfeld and shit. My lady in the bed with the, you know, the position that they sit in. Where they got the shit cocked up. It's like, yo, come. But I couldn't come in there because we wasn't talking. That ain't right, man. That ain't right. My man Jay was good. What I've noticed is that the step-parent go harder in the beginning trying to be nice to the partner's child, and their biological children see that. Yo, I think that's what happened. I know that happened for me, or I know I've been told that. Let me not say I've tried to be nicer, but I know that the kids have seen that. Even my oldest was like, yo, so-and-so and so-and-so. But again, she's 17 and, you know, she don't care about what the fuck I got to say. So fuck what she got to say. But I hear you, though. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of the kids feel like that. Like, oh, you're always so nice. Or you don't yell at her the way you yell at me. That's what I always hear. Or, you know, you don't do that to her. Or why does she get a chance to... That kind of shit. Then we get the acting up and not trying to get with the blend. Yep. You might share the food first for your stepchild in an attempt not to look like you favor your own, and boom, problems. Yo, Alicia, let me tell you something. Me and my sister had this conversation about 2 years ago. 2, maybe 3 years ago. About the same thing you just said. That same sort of reference. Like, yo, you try to share that food at first. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be nice and whatnot. But when it come down to it, it's like, yo, if there's this one piece of something left, and somebody like, yo, my belly empty, and it's not enough to split, who gonna get it? And I think a lot of people kind of contemplate that, and that's a big deal. Peep my shirt one more time, though. I would love for y'all to follow this page at lit_language TV on Twitter. Anyway, enough promotion, right? Danielle said, I have my favorite and my kids know within my own kids who that is. But with his kid, I make both girls feel like the favorite. And you know what? And I try because, again, it's difficult for me. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult raising a girl. I think if it was 2 boys that were the same age, it would be different. But I think because one is a girl and one is a boy, it's a little funny. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a little funny. It's not as easy as it should be. It's not as easy as it should be. Because, again, I think one is a girl and one is a boy, and they have very different personalities. You know what I'm saying? Chris is very Brooklyn, very boisterous, very loud. He like his music loud. He a typical boy. You know what I'm saying? He like the ruckus and the romper room and shit. Kayana's not that way. Although she does certain things, she do it at a lower volume. If you get what I'm saying. She still like to dance and all that other shit. Make noise and call names and all that shit. But it's on a lower level. You know? And again, it's just very different trying to please everybody, trying to spread yourself to where everybody feels like they're getting what they deserve without somebody feeling like they're getting more than the other person. Like my son, for example, he's so used to getting so much attention from me and so much and a certain kind of attention. If I give it to anybody else, he's not feeling it. To the point where even if he don't want my attention, if I give it to somebody else, he ain't feeling it. We'll go to the park. You know what I'm saying? We'll go to the park and he don't want nothing to do with me. But his friends like me. So they'll come over like, oh, Coach Damien, can you teach me how to? And he'd be like, nah, he can't teach you how to nothing. Get your own daddy. Get your own daddy. Meanwhile, we walking home and he ain't got nothing to say to me. And I'm like, maybe you need to get your own daddy. Shit. Anyway, though, it's absolutely different if it's the biological parents disciplining. I agree. I think that's such a big deal. And I think it's always going to be that way. I don't think we're ever going to be comfortable with someone else disciplining your birth or your biological child. Because, I mean, a certain discipline is fine. A certain talking to, right? Talking to them a certain way, a certain sort of disciplining, chastising, you know what I'm saying? But when you feel like, yo, all right, you're going too far, or you didn't have to curse at her like that, or get out of her face, or, you know, put your finger down. Why you gotta flick his nose? You know what I'm saying? Why you gotta flick his nose with your fingernail like that? That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Don't mush her. Like, why you gotta mush her though? Then it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? Shay said, believe it or not, even if the family isn't blended, some parents show favoritism due to age. Yeah, I agree. They show favoritism due to age, gender, personality, etc. I agree. Again, I'm not apologetic for the bond that I have with Chris. Chris is my son, and Chris is my only boy, and I am unapologetic with the bond that I have with him. But it doesn't mean he doesn't get on my nerves. It doesn't mean that I be wanting to beat the fire out of him. It doesn't mean that. It just means that he's a boy and I was a boy. He likes sports and I like sports. He likes a certain kind of music. I like a certain kind of music. I think he's funny. He thinks I'm funny. And so we be just cooling. But it don't mean that I'm like, yo, all right, listen, you get on my nerves now, go to your room. It doesn't mean that. It just means that there's a certain bond. Like with Brianna, she's my oldest. She was my first. You know what I'm saying? I had her when I was relatively young. So we grew up together in a way. So there's a bond right there. You know, I think me and Kayana have a bond. You know what I mean? I just think we need to grow on that bond in particular when it comes to, you know, the things that we can relate to and the things that we enjoy together. Like I can try to like and do the things that she likes to do. I can try. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to build a bond. But should I fake it? You know? Should I fake it? I don't like everything my oldest girl likes to do. She like to watch Netflix all day and be on the phone not saying shit to her friends. I don't want to be sitting around with that shit. That shit is annoying. Get off the fucking phone. You know what I'm saying? So again, I know that I have to put a certain effort toward building a certain bond with all three of the kids. Because again, they're all changing. They're still all growing. The things that I do now, I'm probably going to have to switch up a little bit. And they're going to have to do the same thing. You know? Shay said, nah, no book. Just something I heard when I was a younger. Oh, okay. That's what's up, man. Biggs, Wagwan. We talking about blended families, yo. Your lady having kids and you having kids and y'all getting together and now y'all got a bunch of kids. You know? A lot of people going through that. A lot of people, they get with somebody who already got the package with them. The package is she got a kid or two and you may have a kid or two and y'all decide to try to make this thing happen and it is what it is. And now, you know, the blended family starts. But it's difficult, though. It's not as easy as it looks. You know what I mean? Since the man is the head of the household, though, is it his responsibility to initiate, I guess, fixing it or resolving the issues? And if so, how? How do you resolve those issues? I know I got a couple of responses. You know, communication, of course. Communication is always a big deal. Communication is the key, at least with, you know, with the things that I know about. You know what I'm saying? Communication is a big deal, but it don't always work. And if it does work, what are we saying wrong? Are we communicating the wrong way? You know, because again, speaking from my situation, we've all come to the table, literally, sat down at the kitchen table to talk. And we've had the talk, and everybody's like, oh, and then, you know, everybody starts to cry, and then we take out the Bible, and we doing it. We Cosby in it. Everybody doing the Cosby. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doing the Cosby show, not the pills and the pudding. We doing the Huxtables. Everybody doing the Huxtables. And then 2 days later, we back to the same shit. He said something she ain't like. She said something he ain't like. They going at it. The parents don't want to say nothing. and then it gets loud, and then because I don't like loud noises, I call the kids out there and they tell me what happened, and I yell at the both of them. And one hates me and the other one don't hate me as much. And it's just a big deal. It's something where like the parents always seem to go at it. We eventually go at it. You can tell when somebody's not saying something just to keep the peace, you know, when the discipline is not the way it should be because we're trying to keep the peace. And then there's times where we overdo it. And I don't know if it's because it's a buildup of how we've been feeling, or I don't know if it's because, you know, it's like, yo, you get away with too much and I'm not letting you get away with it today. Or, you know, you too aggressive and you're aggressive for no reason and I'm tired of it and I'm going to get in that face today. So I don't know, you know, it could be many different things. It's just really, really hard. You know, it's a really tough situation dealing with the blended family. It's really tough. Danielle said, we left the kids together and went to the casino one late night, and they called us talking about they missing us. What time we coming back? Shit. I would try it, but these kids wouldn't miss shit. You know, they'll call you like, hey, can we order Chinese food? Can you order with your card? Fucking ungrateful. Alicia's talking that talk. Yeah, she is. I'll be breaking my ass for this little girl. And I could dig it. You know what I mean? And again, I feel like, you know, as parents, especially as single parents, if you've been a single parent for a long time, or at all, if you've just been a single parent, you've been the main one taking care of your kid or your kids, there's a bond, there's an unspoken bond. And then there's an unspoken love that even your kids won't even understand. They won't even understand it. You're going to defend them no matter what. Right or wrong sometimes. You're going to defend them. But bigger than that, though, you want the best for them. And if discipline at that moment is best for them, that's what needs to be stressed. You know? Parents, though, what parents got to do is really look at it like, listen, we both can't do it differently. I can't discipline them this way, and you're going to discipline them that way, and we're going to make this work. It's not going to work that way. There has to be an understanding of who's going to be doing the disciplining. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be doing it this way. How do you feel about that? But if you're going to harbor these feelings of, yo, that's too harsh. Well, if it's too harsh for one kid, it needs to be too harsh for all of the kids. You know, it got to be equal and fair. You cannot go off of that kid is this way, and so we know how that kid is. We can't do that because they still children. They still children. They still need time to grow. They still need room to grow. They still need all of the things. They need the discipline. They need the structure. And we have to give them that. But we can't. Discipline doesn't mean yelling at them and ripping them apart and telling them how they are, because then you're reinforcing that shit. You tell a kid that they're stupid enough, guess what? They're going to be stupid. You tell a kid that they're a liar, they're going to lie. You know what I'm saying? You self-affirming that. You letting them know like, yo, yeah, that's what you are. And we know that. And we're going to treat you like that. And guess what? That's what they'll be. That's what they'll be. And so parents, really, it's really just about, listen, working together, trying your best to be on the same page, following each other's lead, and being fair across the board, across the table. You know what I'm saying? Lisa, Ebony, Danielle, Biggs, Joy, everybody. Alicia, Shay, Rodnell, everybody. Jay, Kim, Katrina, my cousin Lasha, Vanessa, the good doctor, Dave, Kizzy. Yo, Kizzy, I really appreciate your honesty, man. I really, really appreciate it. Mel, Luke, everybody that came through, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you on the next one. I love you. That was a lit conversation, wasn't it?